A mind that learned to change. Michael was a 52-year-old man living in a small town. Since childhood, he had followed the same beliefs without questioning them. He believed that men and women had fixed roles in life. Men should work outside, earn money, and take responsibility. Women should stay at home, take care of family, and follow rules. These thoughts felt correct to him because he had seen them all his life. Before the age of 35, Michael was very rigid in his thinking. He often said things like, "Girls should not do this," or "This is a man's job." If a woman spoke openly or wanted independence, he felt uncomfortable. He believed that strict rules created discipline. He believed traditions should never change. He was not a bad person, but his thinking was narrow. As time passed, Michael got married and had children. When his children grew older, they moved to the city for education and work. City life was very different from the small town. His children saw women working as doctors, managers, and engineers. They saw men cooking food, cleaning homes, and caring for children. For them, this was normal life. When his children visited home, their thinking had changed. They spoke about equality, freedom, and respect. They asked questions instead of blindly accepting rules. At first, Michael did not like this. He felt his authority was being challenged. He believed city life was changing his children in the wrong way. Many times, he stopped their conversations and told them not to argue. One day, Michael traveled to the city to attend a family gathering. During this visit, he noticed many things. He saw women confidently driving cars and managing offices. He saw men standing proudly beside their working wives. He noticed that families were peaceful and balanced, even without traditional roles. These moments stayed in his mind. Later, his daughter spoke to him calmly. She did not argue or blame him. She only shared her dreams and asked for his support. For the first time, Michael listened carefully. He did not interrupt her. He did not give an immediate answer. But he thought deeply about her words. After that day, Michael began to observe more and speak less. He started reading articles and watching discussions. Slowly, he realized that many of his beliefs were not truths but habits formed by his environment. Knowledge helped him see the world differently. His behavior began to change. He stopped judging people quickly. He allowed his daughter to choose her future. He accepted that respect is stronger than control. He understood that changing thoughts does not mean losing values. At 52, Michael was no longer the same man he was at 35. Knowledge did not weaken him, it strengthened him. He learned that growth has no age limit, and an open mind brings real wisdom. Lesson 1. Knowledge has the power to break old thinking. The first and most important lesson from Michael's life is that knowledge can change even the strongest old beliefs. Michael did not change because someone forced him. He changed because he slowly learned new things and saw life from a wider view. For many years, Michael believed his thinking was correct simply because it was old. He thought traditions should never be questioned. Like many people, he believed that if something had been followed for generations, it must be right. This is a common mistake. Age does not make an idea correct. Truth does not depend on how long it has existed. Michael's thinking was not based on understanding, it was based on repetition. He heard the same ideas again and again, so they became habits. Habits feel safe, even when they are wrong. Knowledge disturbed this safety. When Michael saw educated women working confidently and families living peacefully with shared roles, his mind began to question itself. Knowledge does not attack beliefs directly. It slowly exposes their weakness. At first, Michael felt uncomfortable. He felt confused. This discomfort is a sign of growth. When the mind resists new ideas, it means learning has begun. Another important point in this lesson is that knowledge does not insult tradition. It improves it. Michael did not stop respecting his culture. He only removed the parts that caused inequality and misunderstanding. He kept values like respect, responsibility, and family bonding. Knowledge helped him separate values from outdated rules. This lesson also teaches that learning has no age limit. Many people believe change is only for the young. Michael proved this wrong. At 52, he changed his mindset. His example shows that the human brain can grow at any stage of life if it remains open. Knowledge also teaches humility. Michael realized he did not know everything. This realization did not make him weak, it made him wise. A person who accepts I may be wrong becomes stronger than a person who says I am always right. This lesson warns us about the danger of a closed mind. A closed mind protects comfort but blocks growth. Michael's earlier thinking limited his relationships, especially with his children. When he learned, he gained respect instead of fear. In the end, Lesson 1 teaches a simple truth. Ignorance protects old beliefs, but knowledge creates better humans. Lesson 2. Environment shapes the way we think. The second lesson from Michael's story is that a person's environment strongly influences their thinking. Michael did not become narrow-minded by choice. His thinking was shaped by the place where he lived and the people around him. In his small town, everyone believed the same things. Men worked outside. Women stayed inside. No one questioned this system. When everyone around you thinks the same way, those ideas start to feel like natural laws. Michael accepted these beliefs because he had never seen another way of living. A limited environment creates limited thinking. When people are not exposed to different lifestyles, they begin to believe their way is the only right way. This does not happen because they are bad people. It happens because their world is small. Michael's mindset began to change when his environment changed. When he visited the city, he saw a completely different reality. Women were working confidently in public spaces. Men were sharing responsibilities at home. Families were balanced and respectful. Life was not broken. Society was not collapsing. Instead, things were working smoothly. This experience was more powerful than arguments. No one had to explain anything to him. His eyes became his teacher. Real-life examples can break mental walls faster than words. This lesson teaches that growth often begins when we step outside our comfort zone. A new environment forces the mind to adjust. It challenges assumptions and encourages learning. Exposure to diversity builds understanding and reduces fear. It also teaches us to be careful when judging others. People think differently because they live differently. What feels wrong to one person may feel normal to another. Understanding this creates tolerance. Michael's story shows that change does not always require conflict. Sometimes, simply seeing a broader world is enough to start transformation. Lesson 3. Children can also be teachers. The third lesson from Michael's life is that learning does not only come from elders, it can also come from children. Michael always believed that parents teach and children obey. This belief slowly changed when he started listening to his children. Michael's children grew up in a different time. They had access to education, information, and new ideas. They saw a world where respect mattered more than control and understanding mattered more than fear. When they spoke about equality and freedom, they were not trying to disrespect their father. They were expressing what they had learned. At first, Michael felt uncomfortable. He thought his children were challenging his authority. Many parents feel this way. They believe listening to children means losing control. This is not true. Listening is not surrender. Listening is learning. The most important moment of change came when Michael's daughter spoke calmly. She did not argue. She did not accuse him. She simply shared her dreams and asked for support. Her respectful approach opened Michael's mind. He realized that wisdom can exist even in younger voices. This lesson teaches that age does not decide intelligence or truth. A person can be older in years but younger in understanding. Another person can be younger in age but richer in awareness. When parents stop listening, growth stops on both sides. By listening to his children, Michael did not lose respect. Instead, he gained it. His children felt valued and trusted. This strengthened their relationship. Respect grew naturally when fear disappeared. This lesson also teaches humility. Michael accepted that he did not know everything. Accepting this truth allowed him to grow mentally and emotionally. A parent who learns from their children becomes a guide, not a ruler. Lesson 4. Change does not mean disrespecting culture. The fourth lesson from Michael's story is that changing your mindset does not mean rejecting your culture or values. Michael once believed that tradition must remain exactly the same forever. He thought that questioning old practices meant disrespecting his culture. This belief is common. Many people fear that change will destroy identity. They believe culture is fragile and must be protected by strict rules. In reality, culture is strong. It survives because it adapts. Michael slowly understood that culture is not a cage, it is a guide. The purpose of culture is to support human life, not to limit it. When certain traditions cause inequality or silence, they must be examined. Keeping harmful ideas alive in the name of culture only creates suffering. This lesson teaches that values and practices are not the same. Values like respect, honesty, family unity, and responsibility are timeless. Practices, however, are created by society and time. When society changes, practices must also change. Michael did not stop respecting elders or family traditions. He only removed the belief that men are superior and women must obey. He kept kindness and discipline but removed control and fear. This made his family stronger, not weaker. This lesson also shows that culture grows through questioning, not blind following. When people question with understanding, culture improves. When people follow blindly, culture becomes rigid and unfair. Michael's change did not break his roots. It deepened them. He learned that true culture teaches balance, not domination. Lesson 5. Gender roles are learned, not natural. The fifth lesson from Michael's life is that gender roles are created by society, not by nature. For most of his life, Michael believed that men and women were meant to live in fixed ways. He thought men should lead and women should follow. These beliefs felt natural to him, but they were learned. From childhood, Michael was taught that certain jobs belong to men and certain duties belong to women. No one ever asked why. These ideas were passed from one generation to another without questioning. Over time, they became rules in his mind. When Michael went to the city, he saw something different. Women were working as leaders, professionals, and decision-makers. Men were caring for children and managing homes. Life was not disturbed. Instead, families were balanced and respectful. This reality proved that ability does not depend on gender. This lesson teaches that skills come from learning and effort, not from being male or female. Leadership, intelligence, care, and strength exist in all humans. When society limits people by gender, it wastes talent and creates injustice. Michael realized that by believing in fixed roles, he was unknowingly limiting his own children. His daughter needed opportunity, not permission. His son needed emotional freedom, not pressure. Understanding this lesson helped Michael treat people as individuals instead of labels. He stopped asking, "Is this a man's job or a woman's job?" and started asking, "Who can do this well?" The central message of Lesson 5 is simple. Gender does not decide destiny, mindset does. Lesson 6. Change happens through observation, not arguments. The sixth lesson from Michael's story is that real change happens through observation and understanding, not through force or arguments. Michael did not change because people argued with him or criticized him. He changed because he observed life carefully. Earlier, whenever someone tried to argue with Michael, he became defensive. This is natural. When people feel attacked, they protect their beliefs even more strongly. Arguments create resistance, not reflection. Michael's transformation began when he quietly watched the world around him. He saw women working confidently. He saw men supporting their families in new ways. He saw peace instead of chaos. These observations spoke louder than words. This lesson teaches that experience is a powerful teacher. Seeing reality with your own eyes breaks false beliefs. No explanation is stronger than lived truth. It also teaches patience. Change takes time. People do not change in one conversation. Minds open slowly when they feel safe, not pressured. Michael's children did not force him. They spoke calmly and gave him space. This allowed him to think independently. Respect created openness. The main message of Lesson 6 is clear. Truth does not need shouting, it needs visibility. Lesson 7. Growth is a lifelong process. The final lesson from Michael's story is that personal growth has no age limit. Many people believe that once a person reaches a certain age, their thinking cannot change. Michael's life proves this belief wrong. For many years, Michael thought learning was only for the young. He believed older people should teach, not learn. But when knowledge entered his life, he understood that the human mind can grow at any stage if it remains open. This lesson teaches that age adds experience, but learning adds wisdom. Without learning, experience can become pride. With learning, experience becomes understanding. Michael did not feel ashamed of changing at 52. Instead, he felt proud. He realized that changing wrong ideas is a sign of strength, not weakness. A person who refuses to change becomes rigid, but a person who adapts stays alive mentally. This lesson also teaches responsibility. When older people grow, they create a better example for the next generation. Michael's change helped his children trust him more. It created peace in the family. Growth also brings inner peace. Michael no longer felt the need to control others. He learned to respect differences. This made his life lighter and more meaningful. The final message of Lesson 7 is powerful and simple. It is never too late to learn, and never too late to become better.